Hi guys, let's prepare some spaghetti squash while we catch up on what's been going on in my life. This is actually one of my new meals now, so this is a spaghetti squash. And once you bake this vegetable in a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of seasonings, light seasonings, then you can just go ahead and separate the inside of this vegetable, and it comes out very stringy, like a very fine delicious angel hair pasta. Very flavorful, full of all type of flavor. And so you want to loosen up the meat on the inside of this spaghetti squash, and it will create a noodle, like a noodle, a spaghetti noodle that is very nutritious and delicious. Once you loosen this up, I usually will take this out. And whenever I take it out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be applying a meat sauce that I already have prepared on the side. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm scooping those noodles out so that now I could go ahead and prepare an actual spaghetti just as you would do any baked spaghetti. So I start off with layering it with my meat sauce at the bottom. And then I want to top it with my spaghetti noodles, which is just the inside of my squash. But it turns into a very fine, delicious angel hair pasta. And so you just want to kind of mix this up. My meat sauce was prepared, and I made this with some stewed and canned tomatoes, tomato paste. And then I have my tomatoes, onions, garlic, mushrooms, olives, red pepper in here. And I sauteed all these veggies down, and I'm now going to be stuffing this into my spaghetti squash, and I'm going to be mixing this up, and it is going to create a spaghetti that mimics any homemade spaghetti you have ever made. These noodles are very nutritious and delicious. I'm telling you, once you try it, you will not want spaghetti the regular way anymore. This is how we eat our spaghetti now. We don't buy spaghetti noodles. We go buy spaghetti squash. Once I have mixed it with my little meat and my meat sauce mixture, or my veggie sauce mixture. This is a veggie sauce, and for my children, it's a meat sauce. Then I'm going to go ahead and layer it with some cheese. You know, we love to smother things in cheese. After I layer it with cheese, I'm going to top it with some more of that delicious red sauce or meat sauce. I'm going to be topping it with some more noodles, more sauce, more cheese, and then some cilantro. So it's going to give it that, baked spaghetti that we know and love. I'm telling y'all, this is a dish that you and your family will fall in love with, and it's so healthy. It really is. And there will be no leftovers. I'm telling you, if you take it out the shell to prepare for children and just put in a bowl as you would regular noodles, they will not notice the difference in texture of noodles. This is just a noodle that is made of an actual vegetable. It is delicious. This is what the squash looks like before I actually start slicing it. And so there, I'm going to show you how that happens. As you saw, it looked hard and just it was hot, y'all, too. It looked hard, but as you see, it was very tender. It was done. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and just loosen up the meat on the inside of this spaghetti squash. And this is how I'm going to be getting those good old noodles out. And the same thing that I just done to the last spaghetti squash, I'm going to go ahead and do that again. And then we're going to pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes and give it like a golden, cheesy, delicious crust. And then it'll be good to go. So I thought I was showing you guys my actual spaghetti noodles right here, but it looks like I'm showing you my fupa. So forgive me, guys. Let's not look at the fupa too long. Let's try to look at the spaghetti squash. It's more interesting. So here it is. I am now preparing this squash. And I'm going to make this dinner. And I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys up on what's been going on here in my life lately. As far as myself, it's been going pretty good. I have started using my solar panels, so I'm connected to solar now. I have another form of heating on top of the propane inside my RV. I have now installed a diesel heater. So those are two different forms of heating I will be using this year, on top of another one that I'll be showing you guys a video. So I have about 4 different ways of heating, so that no matter what, I just want to really see which one is better, which one is more efficient, and which one I like the most. I have propane, diesel, wood, kerosene, and electric. So I'm using everything. And we're just going to see which one works better. So far, it seems like diesel and then electric. Propane is very expensive, and so is gas. So, and diesel burns very, very clean. So that's kind of what I think I'm gonna lean towards, but I'll let you guys know how that go. So as far as my life, I'm doing great. The girls are doing great. We've definitely been praying more. I'm definitely gonna get us into a little church, to where we will be able to have a church family and be able to fellowship with God's people. Because as I stated, I walk with the spirits, but I am definitely God's child. Without him, I would not be here. And so, other than that, that part is great. Here's the devil behind me. That's my ex-husband. That's what I'm finna start talking about right now. Because he is definitely ruining my life. He will invite me over. During the day, I'm usually at his home with my kids. I was letting my kids stay there for about the last week. Whenever my mother had my electricity disconnected, and I didn't know how I was going to heat the RV. I didn't want the kids in here during that time, so I did let them start staying at their dad's during the day. I was using an electric heater on my generators, and it only ran about 8 hours a day. So I was just splitting my time between, at the daytime, being at the home where my children were at to stay warm while I worked on our solar panel and diesel, and at night at the RV. This turned out to be very detrimental to me, because during this time, my ex-husband has paraded people against me, and the people would be my mother, my own mother. Because she has found out that I'm getting child support, she is now turning the family against me also. He has told her that he's given me about 4 or 5 times the amount of what he's actually giving me. I believe, saying he's giving me like $4,000 a month. Guys, if I was getting $4,000 a month, I would not be on my auntie's on a shared land in my RV. I would have land. I would buy land for $3,000 that first month. So, I don't know why he's saying that, but this is what he told my mother. I could show my mother differently, but she is a person that has always kind of been against me. She will nickel and dime me and say that she loves me, but then also I notice that she will just find ways to put me down in any way that she can, as far as like with if somebody thinks or is speaking bad of me, she will be right there with them. And so with my husband, that is what she is upset about. I mean, that is what she is going against me with now, is that I am getting child support, and in her eyes, I shouldn't be getting it. And because of that, she has now convinced my aunt. The first thing she did was to try to get me kicked off the land within 3 days. I actually had to go to my mayor, and I had that pardoned. And so, thank God, I do not have to move off the land, because the stipulations she was trying to give were just astronomical. I don't even know what she was thinking. Me and my auntie had been living great together for more than 2 years before she came. And my auntie is a very sweet lady, and this is something she wouldn't do. I also have intuition, and I knew my mom was going to do this to me. I just didn't know it was going to happen this quickly. First thing she did was to make sure that I could no longer go in the house. Me and my auntie were very close. She got it to the point to where she was like, you don't even need to be in the house if I'm not here. Now, remember, I was in the basement. I'm still in the house because me and my auntie are close and I help her and we were going to the store together. My mother started wanting to watch me, only letting me in the house when she was there, following me around the house. It was so weird. And it just made me feel so horrible. Because I knew at that time she was already perspiring to turn my family against me, slowly but surely, to show them that, oh, you guys don't have to be that close. You don't have to answer her phone calls. You don't have to let her in the house. She's not living in here anymore. She's outside. And if we need her to come in, I could just walk around the house with her. She doesn't have to just walk around the house by herself. And I used to go to the store for my auntie. Oh, you don't have to send her to the store anymore. I'll just go to the store. So everything that used to be close with my auntie about, my mother has stopped that. We used to communicate daily. Me and my auntie no longer message nor talk on the phone since my mother moved in. So somehow she has convinced my aunt that, hey, you don't have to text her, call her, answer her calls, and they only reach out whenever they want to ask me a question or something now. They do not answer my texts nor calls for days. It's as if they will converse with each other, and then a few days later, they'll decide, okay, we'll both answer, and then they'll both send the answer at around the same time. So it's definitely something that is controlled by my mom. That's the first way she went to try to turn my family against me. My grandmother, my other aunt, which is my aunt is identical twin. So her and her twin owned this land together. So she had my other aunt. All of them were conspiring with the exact same story. I'm getting child support. And everything she's telling my auntie, she told them and they also agreed. I no longer need support because I'm getting child support for my children, where I have had to stop slowing down my work so that I could homeschool in my RV. I'm no longer in a home. I can't leave my children in an RV by themselves. I'm an inspector, so they would be just kind of riding with me. I decided to just slow that down during this time, focus on learning to live off grid, learning to be more self-sufficient, and keep teaching my children to be more self-sufficient in school before I just get back out there again. They are not teenagers yet. And so with that, on top of that, she has conspired with my husband now that yeah, I don't deserve child support. I do not deserve any help at all. Nobody needs to talk to me anymore now. It is just it's pretty sad to know that the person that is doing this is a very sanctified Christian lady who does nothing but push God and God's grace. And I don't think God would want you not wanting your daughter to not get child support. Speaking with your daughter's abuser on a daily basis about her getting child support and try to conspire ways for her to not get assistance because she's now getting this child support. To the point that my son's he got into a wreck before he got his other car, and he was going to need a ride to work for a few days. He ended up buying a car 2 days later, thank God, to my mom because of the way she reacted. My brakes are out, and my son worked probably about 15 miles away. So I contacted her because I thought I would be able to. And we said, maybe we could give you a little gas every day and maybe you could take Trey to and from work for the next 2 days, just to make sure that, he gets there and he doesn't lose his job. She agreed. And then within a few hours, she messaged my son. She let him know that she was now deathly ill, could not do it. And then she said, maybe your mother can use that child support to help you get there. And so my son, as sweet as he is, just came to me and was like, well, Mom, Grandma's not going to help me anymore. She said something about you getting child support. And I said, okay, fine. I we made it to work that day. That night, my son actually ended up walking home. It took him 3 hours. I didn't know he had a ride home. Didn't have a ride home. I thought my mother would be picking him up. This was when she gave him the text. And I found out my son actually walked for 3 hours from 10 until 1 o'clock in the morning, from one side of town to the other side of town, because she found out that I was getting child support and that I should use my child support. Even though my child support was going to be giving her gas to take my son back and forth, she decided that nope, she's getting child support. I don't think I need to give you a ride. And you know what? I'm now so deathly ill. I'm going to be sick those whole 2 days that you're going to need me. But God blessed my son to end up getting himself. Come here, boss. Come here. God blessed him to where my son ended up getting him a car 2 days later. And now my mom was like, oh, yeah, God is good. Yes, God is good, because I also pray to God. I also love God. And I know you love him too, but as you're praying against me, God is also working for me. Another thing I can say about that is I remember once my grandmother came to me right after I got married, and she said, baby, she said, I just want to apologize to you for praying against your marriage. And I was like, what, Grandma? Because at that time, me and my husband were doing very good together. We were good for the first probably 17, 18 years. And I was like, what, Grandma? And she was like, yes, baby. She was like, your mom didn't want you with that man. You know, he's older than you. Let's not forget, my husband is 12 years older than me. I was 15. He was 27. Okay. And this is who my mother is siding with. Is 12 years older than me. And so she said, yeah, your mother doesn't want you with that man. He is a pedophile. He's not good for you. He is this, he is that. And so we have been praying that your marriage does not make it, so that you can find your way. Once we had made it, and by then we had been together almost 10 years, my grandmother confessed. I said, oh, no problem. I never spoke to my mother about it, but I never forgot that. Like, you prayed against my marriage. You are praying against me with my grandmother, with my family, on the prayer line, as if that is God's will. So guys, I don't know what it is, but sometimes the devil can be a wolf in sheep's clothing, and I believe I got me a sheep that's really a wolf around me, Lord. And I need help, y'all. But in the meantime, that's what I've been doing.